After completing the display boards for the Demon Army, which were showcased in a previous video, I thought I would take a longer look at making display boards with an effort to dressing them up just one step further. These boards I actually brought with me to a tournament recently, and I had displayed my Lizardmen army on them. But I thought I'd showcase a different army today just to give a better example of how even at a skirmish level with a few models, a display board can really dress them up. These are AT-43 figures from the Operation Damocles starter set. And these are two boards here that are 10 inches by 20 inches in dimension. And the boards, because they are still separate, could be arranged in a variety of ways. Much as I mentioned in the other video, of course we could place them end to end and make a single 10-inch wide by 20-inch long display set, which would be perfect for shelving, for instance, against a wall. Or at a tournament scene where you have a little bit more table space, could be placed into a 20 by 20 square so that you could showcase your models more dynamically. Now, one of the things that had been bothering me with the display boards previously is how to dress the edges. And I decided to take a chance and look into wood veneers. And so I was pleasantly surprised to be able to find a supplier that made a variety of wood veneers at a fairly reasonable cost in a variety of woods. And I thought I would do a set for myself for use in future tournaments. And what I did is I applied the walnut with a couple coats of varnish to the sides of the boards, and it's a very thin veneer, so it actually comes up to the edge, and you can see it as a seam slightly in the middle of the two boards. But I really felt it was important to dress all four sides so that the boards could be rearranged in a variety of ways, whether it's lengthwise, they could be viewed from a 360-degree perspective, and you would see that they were finished on all edges. The other aspect that I wanted to focus on with the boards is versatility in terms of how to present models. One of the nice things is that this board is actually just a plain board from the modular board set that TerranScapes produces. Of course, if you wanted to see all of the different boards that are available that could be used to comprise a display set like this, you can always visit TerranScapes.com, and in the playing surfaces section you'll see all the boards that I currently produce. So this set is comprised of a single plain board and a board with a hill, and the hill, as I mentioned with the Demon Army display, presents a really nice focal point to raise up a couple models, really showcase them. This Goliath on top with a couple of the Therian foot soldiers nearby really adds a nice dramatic feel to that corner of the board. And pulling these off, I just wanted to show that you can add other terrain elements to the boards to fit them with a variety of themes. For my Lizardmen army, I had several stands on the board that featured jungle foliage, which matched the foliage that was present on the bases of many of my Lizardmen models. But I thought for AT-43, rather than put them in the jungle, that I'd give it a sort of grassy, bushy feel, and so I used a couple clump stands, which you can buy on the site. And I also, just to show as a comparison, I also just put down some foliage that I had from my supplies. This is clump foliage produced by Woodland Scenics, and I put a couple colors down and arranged them in a slightly natural sort of layout, and that way, it makes a quick, easy way to dress up the boards without having to expend a lot of money, and gives you some flexibility in how you arrange it so that you're not gluing things to the surface. Later, if you wanted to put, say, Warhammer army from Fantasy Battles on here, you need a lot of space for those regiment blocks to be placed level, so you can clean off the whole board, and then you can arrange it however you want, dress it with whatever kinds of terrain you'd like to add to it, perhaps a rock wall, perhaps a small building. You could add a tree stand, etc. And of course, TerranScapes is always willing to custom work with you to produce unique sets of terrain that you might want on your display board to match your particular army or game system that you use. So I wanted to just give you a chance to see what the potential really is for the display boards, and in particular how the wood trim came out on the boards and what kind of effect that produces in stepping it up. And of course, when you contact me, we can discuss how many boards you'd want and what kinds of trim work you'd like, etc. And always, of course, you contact information for getting custom work done is available at TerranScapes.com, and display boards are currently considered as custom work. They're not regularly offered, but again, check the playing surfaces section and you'll see all of the different boards that are available that could be used this way.